Cocoa board, bro. You missing out. Try the Cocoa board.
Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we have another budget board option for you guys, the Cocoa board. Now before you turn off of the video, I want you guys to hang around because this board actually shocked me. In addition to shocking me, I let several of the guys in the crew ride the board and they all said the same thing that I did. This board is not bad at all. And we were shocked at the performance and how well the board actually performed. So we'll just go through all the different things about the board and like we normally do. So this board is utilizing, looks like some unbranded trucks, but they felt pretty good. I tightened up the trucks and I didn't need to actually change out the bushings or anything like that to be able to hit the top speed. So I don't have any major complaints with that. This deck is on the stiffer side because of the materials that they're using, but it wasn't all that bad at all. It's the typical kind of deck that you'll see on budget board options out there. One of the things that I do like about the board is the handle. When this board came in, my son was like, Dad, another board with a handle. I like the boards with the handles. And even when I was grabbing the board out of the car, these handles really make it much easier when carrying a board around. I don't know why a lot of board companies kind of got away from them. I kind of like the handles. It probably has something to do with the board integrity of cutting a hole in it, but I kind of like it. Now, the enclosures and the battery that this particular board has, the enclosures look pretty standard. They're not going to be the most attractive covers that you see out there on a board, but they get the job done, I suppose. The particular board that I have is 58.8 volts, 4 amp hours, I believe, 208 watt hours. So not too bad, I guess, for a board that is in this price point. The wheels were something on this board that was a little surprising. The wheels don't have a durometer on them, but they're relatively comfortable. When I was riding this board, it wasn't bad at all. I've been on some more expensive hub motor boards where the ride experience was actually worse than this board was. This actually was not bad when riding it. When I hit bumps, you felt them, but it wasn't uncontrollable and it wasn't a really bad riding experience at all, which was something that kind of shocked me for the price point that this particular board offering has. Now, one of the things that kind of really shocked me with this board was the acceleration and the torque that this board had. I'll be honest, I didn't have really high expectations, but it blew my expectations out of the water. A lot of the guys in the crew that I let ride the board, they were shocked at how well the board performed.
Man, I looked at it, I was like, man, did they just like say spray paint this with some stencil on here? But you know, the board got good little ups. I thought that the little torque and got some good speed. Deck a little stiff than what I'm used to, but it felt solid, and I was actually surprised. You know, I was surprised that it was pretty decent.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a decent board. It is a stiff deck. Range is probably not huge, but it's got pretty good torque. I mean, it's a good value for that price, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Yeah, I was surprised. I had low expectations, and it definitely put a smile on my face when I was riding it. So, you know, like you said, man, for the price, I think the value, especially if somebody's entering the market, it's not a bad deal, you know.
I was tracking the speed in a couple of ride apps and it was telling me that I was hitting 25 miles an hour easily. But the thing is, it actually felt like I was riding faster than 25 miles an hour. When I was talking to the guys about the top speed that we were doing, they all said the same thing, that the board actually felt like it was doing much better than 25 miles per hour. So that's something that really shocked me and is pretty solid for a board that is in this price point. One of the other things that I really liked about this board was the remote. I really like this remote. It's ergonomic. It feels great in your hand. The scroll wheel feels very good. You can read the screen easily, and it has a plethora of information on there. You can adjust your braking curves. You can adjust the speed modes that you're in, go in reverse. Very solid remote. And to pair that with the ESC, which was very good as well. I believe this board is utilizing the Yingling ESC. And this is one of the smoothest Yeeling ESCs that I've ever experienced on a board. Flat out. It felt good when braking. It felt good with accelerating. I literally don't have anything like really negative to say about the performance of the board whatsoever, because I think that for the price point, I think this board is very, very solid. Now, you guys know I love to have my nitpicks and tell you guys things that I think could be improved on boards. So that's one of the things that we're going to talk about. I think the area that presents itself as most challenging about this board is probably the aesthetics of the board. The logo on top of it looks interesting, but then when you look on the bottom of the enclosure, you have wings, and then at the bottom they have a different font on the ESC. So it just doesn't look like everything was organized 100% properly when you talk about from a branding perspective or having logos on it. So that's really one of the things that I kind of noticed, and some of the guys were just like, I don't get why it looks like that, because they said the board actually performs really good, and they just wish that they maybe took a little bit more time with the styling of things, because the board actually performs well for the price point. So really, I would say that that's the only negative thing that I have about this board, because the performance that I feel like you're getting for the price point is very good. The ride quality was pretty solid. I really enjoyed the remote and the ESC. Everything was predictable. It felt good when braking and accelerating. I could adjust the braking curves, change my speed modes, put it in reverse. Really, really solid there. Not a whole lot of negative things to say about the performance. I would say the only thing that may make some people do a double take would be, just kind of the logo and design of it. This is a newer company, so I'm sure they're going to work things out. One of the other things that I, just me kind of talking, is it took me forever to get this board. It kind of got lost in shipping, and I should have had this board a while ago, but it just now kind of got here. But interestingly, this company just released belt drive boards, and the specs look pretty good. So Cocoa, send your boy out a belt drive board so I can check it out. But overall, I would say for the price point, I think that this is a decent board, and I think people would be happy with their purchase if they were to purchase this board at this particular price. As always, I'll see you at the top because the bottom is too crowded. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Peace.